Awesome, man. Well, like you already know, Lou, I'm David DeLeon. I'm a coach in Austin, Texas. I own Up the Line Fitness. My background consists of actually 2010, graduating from Texas A&M University. Unlike a lot of people in my field, especially around here in Austin, I did not graduate with a kinesiology major. I did have a kines minor, but my major was actually leadership.
Okay.
And leadership's huge to me because everyone that I talk to, whether in the fitness community, clients who own businesses or work in the corporate world, they're so big on leadership and being able to be that person that can take people towards a common goal is huge. And we know that in our industry, whether it's strength conditioning, general physical preparedness, it takes someone who can lead a diverse group of people towards that goal, with whatever goal that may be for that specific person, right? And a lot of times I think they get caught up thinking that teaching the perfect squat is what keeps clients around.
Yeah.
And really, I've seen some of the best clients leave some of the best coaches because the coach can't make a personal connection with them. You know what I mean? And they lack all those abilities and skills as a leader. But don't get me wrong. My education as far as exercise, fitness, strength conditioning goes, that's still there. I did minor in kinesiology from Texas A&M. And I started my certification process when I was 18 years old. As soon as I graduated from high school, I already had an idea of what I wanted to do. I had a passion for the fitness industry.
Yep.
Right. So I started taking advantage of everything and anything I could. I attended the Cooper Institute in Dallas, Texas. I spent the night there for a week as an 18-year-old with these like 30 and 40-year-old people who didn't know what they wanted to do yet. And, I got my certification at 18, started coaching and training at 19, opened up my first garage gym when I was 19 in College Station, Texas. And honestly, a lot of people who may see this, and I know because this is where I met you at Zach Evanesha certification, I was watching Zach's videos when I was probably 19 years old and thinking, if this dude is training guys with rocks in his backyard, like lifting up rock, there is no damn reason that I cannot have my own gym, as long as I'm continuously building that knowledge. So the knowledge kept building, even with the inspiration I got from people like Zach. I went and I received my USA Track and Field certification because I had a great passion for track and field, and went on with CrossFit certifications, USA weightlifting certifications, of course, Zach Evanesha's underground strength certification. And I just continuously try to put myself in an environment with people who know way more than me. And no matter who it is, I can learn something from anyone, whether or not I believe they are smarter than me. The great thing about putting yourself in situations that you can pick up a learning tool from anyone. So, I've worked at CrossFit Central before, which is one of the largest CrossFits in the world. And I've got to work with some great people over there whose mind is not just inside of one box of CrossFit, but people like Travis Hawley, who are great strength coaches, and put myself in positions where they were my mentor in order to pick up more and more information from them. Big Mike, Jen Cardella, who are also very involved with the underground strength world, just always being around them. Where I am right now, 24 years old, opened up a what I would call small warehouse garage gym, 1,300 square feet.
Right.
We have this is month 4. I think we just got to about 50 clients this month.
Awesome.
And just loving it, man. Being around people and being able to be that leader that I really want to be and using fitness as that vehicle is so motivating to me to watch people. My goal for what I do in the fitness industry is not, I don't do a lot of high school strength conditioning. I have a few military guys, but really my biggest passion is telling people and teaching them that when you're 60 years old, I want you to be able to run with your grandkids and run around with your kids as your kids start to grow up, because in the United States, too many times I see 65-year-old men and women who do not play with their grandkids because they never took care of themselves. They didn't lift weights, they didn't deadlift, they didn't squat, they've got tight hips, and they just make all these damn excuses for why they can't do stuff, and I want to help rid that. But that's where I'm at now, man. And I know you had another question.
Yeah, definitely. It's so yeah, basically, I talk about that. Well, I was talking about it with somebody the other day. Basically, that people after they finished their high school career or college career, now it's basically I think Zach coined the term, but it's basically training for life. Now, right. You know what I mean? That's what people don't realize, and you got to be you got to be fit for life. It's just as simple as that. It doesn't get any more complicated than that. It's just you have to be able to do common shit.
Yeah. And I don't know if you see it too, Lou, and I'm sure you do, but, you have businessmen and women who become better businessmen and women when they put themselves through strenuous workouts and they lift heavier weight. Like, they become better at their job.
Yeah,
and they'll tell you, like, man, I feel so much better. But it's not even about the feeling better. It's learning how to just whoop your own ass and continue on and continue on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, definitely. So basically, we've gone over education where you're very well versed at a young age. You've now this is your second spot now that you've had. So you have about 50 clients, which is awesome. That's beyond kind of like unbelievable so far, just month 4. And then, so what are your biggest, as a coach, and obviously the owner also, what's one of your biggest challenges as if you have one in general?
Right. Oh man, definitely. So biggest one is a coach first. I'll put it in 2 different spots. One is coach and one is owner. And before I even start, thanks a lot, Lou, for all your help, man, when I was starting this. I know I called you up first.
No
Appreciate it. But as a coach itself, man, it's really hard for me to watch people who don't want it so bad. I mean, I understand the guys who come 5 days a week. Maybe you have 2 days where you're not 100%. But I just want to jump in people sometimes and become them, because I think that people should want to better themselves and be more successful in the gym. And it's really hard sometimes. We can't be motivators all the time. People have to have some type of motivation already in them. And maybe we can ring that motivation bell that's already there. But I hate when people come in and they aren't ready to give it 110% and put it on the line every single time. And a lot of times they do that, but I just want it so bad for everyone that I wish they wanted it as bad for themselves as I wanted it for them.
Yeah,
if that makes sense, man. It's hard to explain, but I know everybody has that one person that you're like, you could be so awesome at what you do. That high school athlete, like, you don't know what potential you have, just want it really, really bad. And then the other side as an owner, man, and being 24 years old, sometimes it's hard for me to, a lot of people, Gary Vaynerchuk always talks about, you got to have that vision of where you want to be. A lot of leadership books that I read, it always, we talk about begin with the end in mind. And I find myself being so passionate about so many things sometimes that it's hard for me to really narrow down my path sometimes and say, this is what I want and this is where I want to be, because I'll get an idea and then I'll say, oh man, but you know what? This sounds really good too, or this sounds good. So as an owner, it's been hard to really settle in and say, David, what is it that you really want to do with this business? And what are the steps that you need to take in order to be that? Is this business a 5-year goal, a 10-year goal? What does it really look like? And I'm the only coach at the gym, and that's not stressful because it's only 6 hours a day. But sometimes you think, am I building this business to just work and work and work? Or am I building this business to be an entrepreneur, a gym owner? My biggest fault as a coach and gym owner is expecting to find a coach that I believe is like me, or that I believe has my talent or ability, which can all be made up in my head. But it's that fault of not realizing that there's a lot of potential in a lot of other people.
Okay, that's very excellent points. So with being the coach owner, you have a lot on your plate all the time. I personally know there's always something, something that comes out of putting out the daily fires is usually like a good quality to have. What's your biggest, what you feel your biggest accomplishment so far?
Man, the biggest accomplishment,
something that you're really proud of.
Yeah. Let me think about it. I honestly was as of right now, I was most proud of taking the step to realizing that I could do this on my own. And just to go quick into that, at dinner with my mom and my girlfriend, I'm telling mom about how I feel about work, and my mom tells me, you need to stop. We're not having this conversation. You either make a move or we never talk about this again. And I honestly felt super proud of myself to finally say, you know what? Yes, you you only have this much money in your savings and you're not going to, use a credit card. Yes, you're only 24, but have a paradigm shift. And
yeah.
You're not a college student. You're not a graduated, student just a month ago. Have that paradigm shift of who you are and just taking that step, man. That's what I'm most proud of so far, honestly, is taking that step.
Awesome. It's a huge leap. It's a huge leap of faith. Huge. You got to have a big set of cojones, like I say, just to go out the door and just do it. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things that like we both know, a lot of things that you don't know that you learn along the way, and it's a scary feeling when you're just jumping into something like that, especially when you're talking about dollars and people's lives and your own life and whoever you're supporting for.
And Lou, I said, thank you earlier, but I think a big thing that people have to do is if you have an ego and you think you're going to do it all on your own, you're full of crap. You have to find mentors, not just one mentor. You've got to have mentors in different areas that give you that courage to keep going on, because if I try to do this by myself, my knowledge isn't business, coach, entrepreneur, this, I can tell myself what I want to think. But you better find mentors in each different category if you really want to start, if you want to become successful in this business. You have to read. You have to watch videos. You have to find mentors. It's just a must, period. Very
true. All right, so in the gym, what's a typical day look like for you, or a little bit something?
As far as like my work or a program or?
Let's do both.
Okay. A typical day at work, man, I'm usually up by 4 o'clock, 4:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I'll shoot some videos sometimes for my website, all personal branding type of stuff, get some things uploaded on Facebook, pictures, whatnot. I start training at 6 a.m. is my first class.
Mm-hmm.
Train from 6 to 7. Each class is an hour, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. Each class is also capped at 8 people because I am the only coach and I want to keep the quality as high as I can.
Yep.
And me personally, I believe 8 is what my eyes can watch.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel about it. And then there's a break. There is a break in the middle, and a lot of people at the gym say, well, what do you do during the day? All you do is coach.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to build more than a gym. I love to speak. I want to do speaking engagements, and it's building a personal brand. And if people don't think that actual real social media work, and I'm not just talking about playing on Facebook or playing on Twitter, but having a real approach to what you're doing is a job. I mean, it becomes part of your job to make networks and make communities amongst people who aren't just in Austin or in Texas, really spreading out there and creating communities. I'm also, I just applied to a graduate program online to get my master's in leadership. So waiting to hear from that. Leadership is huge for me, man, like I said before. So that one, would probably fill in another hour of my time during the day. And calling the people who pay my bills, man. And I've called people before and they say, oh, sorry I wasn't in. That's not why I'm calling. I'm calling to see how your day's going.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget as coaches that all it takes sometimes is a small phone call, an honest, authentic phone call to see how someone's doing. That's going to keep them coming back because they know that you've made more of a connection than just a coach. 5 p.m., I start again, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, home, dinner, back to a little bit of work and maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night right now,
Definitely.
Just really, really reaching in deep. And if I don't start now, I'm going to look back 5 years from now, 10 years from now and say, why didn't I start? Why didn't I start then? But that's a day, man.
And so I guess a lot of your clientele, are they coming in, like some people get different demographics of people. Like, do they coming in for fat loss? Are they coming in because they want to get in shape for whatever? You said you had some military guys?
Yep, we have all different backgrounds. Central Austin is a weird demographic. And just to be straight honest with you, the demographic in Austin is around $200,000 to $500,000 a year for the people that live in this area. Homes are really expensive, so you have clients who are willing to put up money to work in a 1,300 square foot gym. Everybody at the gym, though, are very, very hard workers, and they're all looking for something different. I mean, we have oral surgeons that want to compete and be athletic, and then other lawyers that they're like, hey, Dave, we want to lose weight. So the programming is really based on we start out with basic aerobic style movements for a warm up, just to get the blood going and heart pumping. We do a prep, maintenance, and skill phase right after that, where we may work on a handstand skill, some type of gymnastic skill, or we'll do, like on Wednesdays, it's usually stretching. We get to a really big mobility section, make sure the hips are open up for all the squatting that we do, all the deadlifting that we do, cleans. After that, we go into a speed, strength, power, speed section, which to me all correlates as the same. Fast is powerful, powerful is fast. And it's really weird because it being, listen, Susan, we're going to put this to where you need to be right now. But Jeff, you're getting ready to compete. Don't forget what you're competing for. And seeing, ladies that are like, oh, I'm getting stronger in my squat. Originally, they didn't really care how their squat was going to be. Yeah. They wanted to lose weight, but they start building, the people within that group make them know that it should be something they care about. And then when we finish with that, we finish with metabolic conditioning, about 12 minutes long. Okay. But to answer your question, we have a guy, military that's going into special forces that needs the GPP training, but he also needs the strength. And we have the soccer mom, stay-at-home mom, businesswoman who needs to look trim in her outfit or, just wants to maintain. And when you're able to kind of adjust and work with those people, even if they're within the same class, it really helps out.
Oh, that's a very interesting mix. That's very cool then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know sometimes some women, like one of the things, there was a YouTube video of somewhere, I forgot, it was dumb shit women say to trainers or some shit, And I know we've all dealt with it. Like I just want to get rid of this. Like I just want the jiggly fat, or I want my butt to look like this. And
or Lou, I don't want traps. I get that all the time. I'm a girl. I don't want and really, Lou, like if people are really good at what they do, I truly believe in like attracts like, and those people don't last at the gym.
Yeah.
And you know what? I hate to lose a client, but if it's going to take away from the environment of the class, I'd rather them not be there and me not have that extra whatever it may be a month and still have a really great environment and not someone complaining about this or that. And I feel like that happens. It gets filtered out eventually. The people.
Yeah, they definitely weed themselves out. Right from the get-go. And you could tell just, through their attitude or whatnot, how they're going to be, and whatever. Just like you said, like attracts like.
That's right.
So how would people get in contact with you and be a part of David of the Line?
Yeah, well, on both ends, I have davidoftheline.com, which is more of the brand, motivation, inspiration, fitness, all in one. I really truly believe that you get yourself physically fit, and the rest of life becomes much easier. So my brand is all built around that, and that's davidoftheline.com. People have found me on Twitter, and it's all David of the Line, at David of the Line. My Skype is David of the Line. Mm-hmm. Try to keep it, the same throughout. And my gym is a good question, man. I have a location that would be the best location if they didn't. It used to be the main road, and they redid the road, so they cut out the section of my street, which would usually face a big street, and people would say, "What a bad business choice." I left the old gym I was at. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. They had my old email address. They didn't even, and that one got canceled. Somehow they still found me, through Facebook and whatnot. And that's kind of what the vibe has been. If you are supposed to be there, you're going to hear about it word of mouth through someone. And if not, there's a 99% chance that I'm not going to get someone that's going to drive by my gym and see us working out because of the area that we're in. But when you build a brand, you build a name, people are going to find you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are.
If anybody's watching this and you think I have to find a perfect location before I start training people, you just make another damn excuse for yourself. Yeah. You get out there, and there's a lot of other ways to put yourself out there besides location. But we do have a website now, otlfitness.com. OTL is of the Lion. My last name is De Leon, which means of the Lion. But yeah, otlfitness.com is where they find it now. And yeah, man, that's how they find me.
Awesome. That's awesome stuff. So this is Lou from Tryon Strength and Athletics. This was David of the Lion over in Austin, Texas, and he's doing some big, powerful things out there, building his own brand. So if anybody wants to to basically get in contact with him in Texas, contact me. I'll get you in contact with him, or look up David O'Line. I'm sure you'll find how to get in contact with him.
Yeah.
But till later, guys. Talk to you soon.